on 27 News, hope for grandparents and grandchildren and a chance to finally be reunited.
It'll definitely feel surreal in a lot of ways.
The new guidance from the CDC now that millions have been vaccinated. Plus, the trial for the former officer charged with killing George Floyd is on hold. What up charges against the officer could mean. And the House is hours away from a final vote on the stimulus bill, the last step before President Biden signs it. Hear from Democrats and Republicans tonight.
We've got you covered. This is 27 News at 10, voted best evening newscast.
Fully vaccinated people can visit with other fully vaccinated people in small gatherings indoors without wearing masks or physical distancing.
Life can finally start returning to normal for people who've gotten the coronavirus vaccine. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jennifer Cleasy in for George and Amber. The CDC announced new guidelines this afternoon. People who are fully vaccinated will still need to wear masks and keep a distance in public, keep gatherings small, and get tested if they get COVID-19 symptoms. But they can have small gatherings with each other and people who are not vaccinated.
CDC recommends that fully vaccinated people can visit with unvaccinated people from one other household indoors without wearing masks or physical distancing.
The CDC says the unvaccinated people and any unvaccinated members of their household must not be at high risk for COVID-19. Local gathering restrictions still apply. But this is great news for grandparents and grandchildren, many who may soon be able to see each other in person for the first time in nearly a year. New tonight at 10, Caroline Dade has you covered on one family's plans for an in-person reunion.
For Elisa Sleep's family, the past year has included a lot more Zoom calls and fewer in-person hugs. So Monday's CDC announcement that vaccinated grandparents can safely visit their unvaccinated family was music to her ears.
I was elated. I saw the news earlier today, and it was really exciting for me because we haven't seen my parents in several months, and they will be fully vaccinated as of this week.
Her twins are turning 7 next week, and the family is already planning an in-person reunion.
This year, after their birthday, we're gonna see my parents for a weekend, and it's probably the best birthday gift that my kids could have. I kind of get teary-eyed just thinking about it. I know there will be, it's going to be really exciting for everybody and probably a little bit emotional.
Sleep says although the past year has been hard, she has found some silver linings.
When I was a child, if we were going through a pandemic, I wouldn't have been able to FaceTime Grandpa and Grandma. I wouldn't have been able to do a Zoom with my loved ones. And so that is something that we're fortunate for.
And she's focusing on appreciating moments that used to feel mundane.
I know that seeing my parents may be something that I took for granted in the past, but now I'm really lucky that they're both okay and that they're going to be vaccinated and that we're going to get to see them.
In Madison, Caroline Dade, 27 News.
Sleep says her kids will still do Zoom calls with their grandparents in the future because they live out of state. But she says everyone is thrilled in-person visits are an option again. State health officials say about 2 million more people will become eligible for vaccines this week when Group 1C is announced. That will include people with medical conditions that put them at a greater risk for complications of COVID. Deputy Health Secretary Julie Williams-Van Dyke said they'll likely make that announcement Thursday. Nearly 1 in 5 people in Wisconsin have had at least one vaccine dose already. 1 in 10 are fully vaccinated. And those vaccines are making an impact. State health officials are reporting no new deaths today for the first time in more than a week. 255 people are in the hospital, 32 fewer than a week ago. 6,500 people have COVID right now, down 800 from a week ago. If you have questions about coronavirus vaccines, we're getting answers for you. 27 News is hosting a half-hour special devoted to vaccines. Email your questions to gettinganswers@wkow.com, or you can submit them at wkow.com/vaccines. We'll answer them Wednesday at 6 o'clock on WKOW. Tomorrow, the Mung Institute is putting on a coronavirus vaccine clinic to vaccinate the community. They're working with the Benevolent Specialists Project to provide free vaccines to Southeast Asian adults 65 and older. The clinic starts at 9:30 in the morning and ends at noon. It's at the Life Center on Femrite Drive in Madison. More school districts are getting vaccinated this week. Tomorrow, Baraboo High School will host a clinic for teachers and staff in the Baraboo, Lodi, and Wisconsin Dells districts. Teachers in Dane County can start getting vaccines at the Alliant Energy Center tomorrow. Priority staff at MMSD can get the shot at a special clinic at La Follette High School on Friday. Tomorrow will also be a return to in-person learning for kindergartners in Madison. It's the first time students will have class in a Madison school in nearly a year. Other grades will go back soon, too. First and second graders return next Tuesday, and 4K students after that. The district will decide about other grades soon. And if the weather is anything like today, they will have a great first day at the bus stop. Chief Meteorologist John Ziegler is tracking really warm temperatures, which we're really excited about.
Oh, yeah, low 60s today. Of course, we busted, so we're giving away $81. Janesville's at 56. We were at 62. Don't know how it works sometimes. That's why it's difficult. I'm not gonna be mad to see the snow melt be gone. Oh, look at this picture, Brandon. Unbelievable shot from Wisconsin River up in the Portage area. You can see the ice is starting to like glaze over. It almost looks thin out there. Probably is. So as we warm things up, looks like the ice season is done there. This is just wild. 62 in Madison, 54 in Janesville. That is just remarkable how big of a difference that is. We don't live that far away from each other. And our high was 54 in Madison from Blaze yesterday. But temperatures still very warm around the area, but they did have some pockets of cooler weather due to some added snow melt like you had in Janesville. 37 now, it's clear. It is calm, 37 in Baraboo, some 40s though out there. You had calm weather, then temperatures were actually allowed to drop. So partly cloudy skies, no rain on the board. We have a chance for a little fog overnight, but we are tracking warm weather, but also rain in your full forecast.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit. Thanks, John. Right now, police in Janesville are looking for a 13-year-old girl who's been missing for 2 weeks. Her name is Chloe Benaj. Her family says she's 5 feet tall and 110 pounds and likes to wear her hair up in a bun. If you know where she is, call Janesville Police right away. That number is on your screen. A UW-Whitewater student-athlete is facing a potential legal sanction for an alleged attack. Authorities say he battered a female student near campus outside a bar Friday. Whitewater's police chief says the attack does not appear to be serious enough to qualify as a crime, but an online petition is calling on the university to discipline the athlete and ban him from campus. University officials say the dean of students is investigating. New tonight at 10, court documents show ecstasy, cocaine, heroin, and a gun were found in the home of a man charged in the death of a 29-year-old Madison man. Anthony Young appeared in court today, charged with first-degree reckless homicide. Investigators say last month, Young shot through the door of his house at the victim, who was standing outside. If convicted, he'll face 60 years in prison. The court ordered a $100,000 cash bond. Crowds protested in the streets outside the Minnesota courthouse where the officer charged with killing George Floyd was supposed to go to trial today. But that didn't happen. Jury selection is delayed as the state Supreme Court decides whether a third-degree murder charge can be reinstated against Derek Chauvin. He's already facing second-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter charges, accused of killing Floyd by kneeling on his neck for more than 9 minutes last May.
If the third-degree murder charge is reinstated, that provides prosecutors with a murder charge where they still don't necessarily have to prove that he intended to kill George Floyd.
Chauvin is pleading not guilty. Once it starts, the trial is expected to take 3 weeks. The House will vote tomorrow on the Senate's version of the nearly $2 trillion COVID relief package. It's expected to pass. The White House says most Americans could start getting $1,400 checks within weeks. It also extends the $300 unemployment benefits and expands the child tax credit. Tens of billions of dollars will fund vaccines, schools, and state and local governments.
We need to open up our economy. We need to ensure that children are able to safely go back to school.
This was a liberal wish list of liberal spending, just basically filled with pork.
Republicans had been pushing for more bipartisanship in the measures included. It passed the Senate 50-49 with every Republican voting no. President Biden says he's ready to sign it as soon as he gets it. The president is scheduled to make his first primetime address Thursday. The White House says he'll be speaking from the Oval Office to mark 1 year since the COVID-19 shutdown. On March 11th last year, the World Health Organization declared coronavirus a global pandemic. Then President Trump addressed the nation that night. On March 12th, Governor Evers declared a health emergency here in Wisconsin. President Trump declared a national emergency the next day. Both President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris celebrated International Women's Day today by formally announcing Biden's nomination of 2 female general officers for appointments to positions as 4-star combatant commanders. Harris called General Jacqueline Van Ovost and Lieutenant General Laura Richardson the best of the best in her opening remarks.
Today, we know women make up 16% of our active duty military and 19% of our enlisted officers. We also know that women want to serve and that our military is stronger when they do.
Harris is the highest-ranking woman politician in American history. Van Ovost and Richardson will be the second and third women in the history of the U.S. Armed Forces to lead combatant commands.
I went to one of the most senior people just to get help.
It was the most watched interview this year. What Meghan Markle told Oprah about her struggle with mental health and what she claims the royal family asked about baby Archie before he was born.
She was strong. She was the fighter. She was a mother, a sister.
Plus, the family of a woman killed in Wisconsin Dells is using her death to raise awareness of domestic violence. And 21 years ago tonight, a tornado touched down in southeastern Wisconsin. A reminder that it's never too early to be prepared for severe weather.